Morning. I'm going to do a drawing of these lilies with you can hardly see them, they're white lilies, and I'm going to use Indian ink, watered down Indian ink I think, with a paper towel, and then just a stick, well actually a feather to draw with. That's my plan. You know how my plans go though, so let's see. Yeah, I'm just going to focus I think on the two lilies that are on the right hand side. And I'll probably start, I'll just kind of establish the leaves there a little bit. Oh, this is new paper for me as well. It's actually the back of acrylic paper that I got from my next workshop. And so far so good. I'm liking this smooth surface. I'm going to stand back regularly in case I'm standing right in front of you. Can maybe just do it like that, so hopefully I'm not in your way so much. Okay. Alright, so there's the upward slant. Then this leaf that's turning that way. Alright, there we are. And now I'm just going to use the feather to draw with. And I think I'll continue using the same. I thought the ink was watered down a little bit more than it is. So it's perfect for drawing with actually. And I'm just using this feather. I couldn't find my sharpened stick yesterday. And I think the feather will work for the lilies, because lilies seem to be even finer than most things. You know, they're as flowers go. I think a fine line works for the elegance of the lilies. Okay, and I'm going to see if I can mostly keep to the idea of a thin line when where the light falls, and a thicker line in the shadow area, in the shadow, the edges in shadow. But because it's a feather, I don't have complete control over that. I think I prefer the stick because it's just a little bit more robust. The feather is kind of bending in my hand, but it's also kind of a nicer mark I think than the stick could be too. So I'm just gonna go with it, following the little curls at the edge of the lily there. Okay, my arm's getting a little bit tired there, so I'm going to drop it regularly. I'm going to find the edge of that petal, and now the other one, the lighter one, is behind it here and extends over here in front of the other leaf. I mean, I'm a little bit fluid with the lilies, but I do want them to be placed truly enough. Like, I don't want to be completely letting myself have free rein. But at the same time, there's something important in the continuous line, I think, at the edge of the lily, in describing its character. I've got some brown bread in the oven for taking it up to my daughter Hope, who's in Edinburgh. She was asking for some Irish brown bread, and so I made a big one for her, and I made another one for ourselves here. I'm hoping, you know, when you make it for someone else or for a plan, it often turns out different, so I'm hoping that it'll be okay. And her dad made some homemade rhubarb jam, so she's going to have a friend over and have the two things. We got some lovely homemade blackcurrant and marmalade jam from, blackcurrant and marmalade from blackcurrant jam and marmalade from Erin's boyfriend's dad. He made some from the blackcurrants in their garden. I love blackcurrants. Now this is the other leaf that flower was overlapping. I don't know if you can see as I'm working. Oh, it's okay. I got a new microphone yesterday, and so I did a little test there before, You see now I'm actually gone, my proportions are off there, so I'm going to redraw that leaf. I think I'll just redraw it with you know what, I'm going to redraw it with this Conte pencil. Actually, I discovered that it was in my bag after Damien's workshop, so it's Damien's Conte pencil. Just bringing in a little bit of colour. Okay, so that's that leaf. These will introduce colour into the other leaves as well. Probably helpful to have the petals described with the line in ink, and then the leaves could be described in the brown. Actually, as I say that, I've just discovered there's a petal I missed out there, and I may as well do it when I've got this. Let's see if it works. Because it's in the background, it might be nicer for it to be in the brown. That one. Gosh, my arm is sore. Okay. Stem there. When I feel like that, I think it's a good idea to soften a little bit into the process and just do something kind of general. So I'm letting my hand make these sweeping stems from the shoulder. And as soon as I feel the tension rising again, I just kind of breathe and drop my arm. Maybe I went for a fairly explosive swim yesterday, and I wonder whether my arms are kind of sore because of that too. You know, it was the only thing for it yesterday. I was in a bit of a, I think my friend calls it like a funk when I woke up, and I just thought, no, I need to get in the car and go to the reservoir for a swim, and that's just what I did. And it was fantastic. Straight into the water. It wasn't even that cold actually, but it was that bracing thing that I was after almost, so I didn't mind if it was cold. Yeah, I swam out to the island, had a swing. There's a swing on the island that my friend John built actually for his family. It's a really good swing. It's a proper adult wooden swing with ropes, like, and so I go out to the island. It's not too far to swim, and then have a swing, and then climb the tree, and then hop back in the water and swim home. So that's my ritual. And I'm thinking I might do that now again today. We'll see. I've got a commission to do, and I'm keen to send out the online watercolour course material as well tomorrow, so I'm going to do that today as well. We had a great old day yesterday photographing and filming air and modelling for it, so I'm looking forward to settling into that. I thought I could maybe listen to something good, you know, like a podcast or something as I'm well, not for that, for the commission I'm doing, because I can't be listening as I'm writing the course, can I? It's not completely inventing the wheel freshly either. I've done similar articles before, so it's okay. Right. I actually really enjoy writing about the painting process and talking about it. You know, these bits that they're kind of rusty seed head things, I'm going to find them as best I can, because they are quite helpful in getting the character of the lily and the turn of it. So these stamen come from in here. Tired arm again. Okay, and then there's one that curls that way. Hope I'm not covering. And the curls that way, and the heads are going there, extending beyond the flowers. I have some crayons there in case I wanted to colour in these bits. I'll see when I stand back if I want to just leave it a black and white and brown drawing. These lilies have been such a pleasure to me. The smell of them is absolutely gorgeous. Well, at least it's one of my favourite smells. I take them to bed with me and smell them first thing in the morning. And I've divided them up, so I had one when I had a bath the other evening. I put one into a big vase to put on the side of the bath, a tall vase. So I'm getting my money's worth out of these. And I actually got them when they were only they had been reduced. Just doing the edge of this. That's right, yeah, the edge of this one here. They'd already been reduced to £4 or something, so I feel I'm doing very well. My mother, who's great for a bargain, would be proud of me. No. I mean, the same day I bought another full price brunch, but I won't bother saying that. Well, I just did. Right. So this goes up like that. You find that you might need to redraw some of these, and in the redrawing it's kind of nice, like to explain the finding marks that took you on your path to the truth of it, kind of, you know. So the finding marks are evidence of the attentive the drawing process. So that there now is a leaf, and I've made it kind of read like a stem, because when I go down the way, it's more rickety. When I go up with the move of the ink, it's a smoother, more leaf-like movement. Right, so we've got that leaf there. I think that could be more distinctive somehow, because it's reaching. It's like foreshortened and coming out towards us, that one. And I might introduce some, I don't know if I'm going to be making a mistake here now, but I thought I might introduce some grey oil pastel. I'll try it over here, because it's a bit like what's outside the window, and it's making the flowers to me read as being brighter when I'm looking at them. But I'm not sure if that's actually doing the same thing in my drawing. I don't want it to start getting clunky, you know. I think I'm just going to go over that with white, so it's not quite so dominant, and I won't bother putting it anywhere else, that grey colour. Now let me see, so that's the top of the leaf there, and there's actually, I'm going to use the pencil this time because I want something firmer to draw with. There's actually a leaf, a petal coming out behind that one there, so, and the leaf doesn't really come up that high. Erin had some friends over last night, and myself and Lily were up fairly late, and as a result so was I, really. But I mean, I got up at around 9 in the end. I woke up earlier but got up around 9, and haven't gone back to sleep for a little while, but I think it's great. I find it really good for me not to go back to sleep for too long, to just yeah, right, what about, because you know I kind of feel a little bit groggy getting into the day then. Just a touch of orange. Right. I mean, it's not that exciting, is it? What do I want to do? I think I want to find, like if I had a brush now, I don't have a brush here though. I could use, yeah, what I was thinking of doing is if I had a brush, I might make some of those leaves with the acrylic paint. I'm over here behind you now, and I know that there is one brush and one I actually have got, see that now, sap green, so I might just use that. interesting sound effects. Oh my god. You know what, I can hardly get it out of the thing, so I just use my fingers. Just felt like there was a need for a little bit of colour. Not really the colour of the lily leaf, but it's the colour of the ones that have the sun shining through them. No, that's a leaf, isn't it? That's strange. Jeez, I'm mixing myself up. That was the other one I was looking at. Oh, so that's that leaf there. Which might be a good one to establish, actually, to kind of get the feeling of that way about it. And I could maybe just use the take the top off this because it's annoying me that I can't get it out. And I thought I could just use the paper towel that's been dipped in the watered down Indian ink to describe the slightly darker leaves. You know, dipping that in with the sap green makes a darker leaf. I don't know if you've been tuning in about Lily's bed, but she had a bed. She was desperate to get a day bed in her room, and I was fairly busy, so I said to her, "Look, if you get it and build it yourself, you know, I'm happy to go and pick it up for you, but you need to build it yourself." She's 14. I know I was ambitious, but she did her best, in fairness. But we did come to a bit of a standstill, so I had some help from Callum's dad and then from Lily's own dad. He came over yesterday and completed the whole thing, and it's fantastic. So last night she slept in her new bed and vacated my bed. She was on the living room couch most of the time, really, just for the last couple of days. So it's good to get that sorted. Right, I'm going to use the white oil pastel now, or maybe it's a chalk, just to re-establish some of the petals that might have got lost a little bit there. Yeah, that's chalk, and I want oil because I want it to really stand out and to easily glide over. Yes, there's a nice edge to that petal there, nice bright edge. And here as well, it'll be brighter. It's quite nice having the ink to respond to. So I could have done with putting more ink down, maybe, so that I could pick the petals out from the ink. I'm going to put a touch of ink on that one flower there that's quite dark here. No, I said a touch. That's significantly more than a touch, but it's okay, I think, because what I want to do is to really pick out the brighter petal to the side of it, and I can make that edge sharper when the petal on this side is darker. It's alright, I think. Bring a little bit more white into this side of it. I think I get away with it. If anything, we could do it a touch on this one too, so that I can pick out the lights here as well, because it's not all bright, that petal, the edge of it. I've just made a bit of a mess there now, haven't I? I think the thing to do there might be to just obliterate it a bit and bring clarity back in with the stick and ink. Yeah, I'll just make a bit more of an elegant line again, hopefully. That curl there. Jeez, I was in foul form yesterday before the swim. It's a lovely warm day again today, so it's kind of inviting for that Gladhouse experience, Gladhouse Reservoir. I'd never before swam in a reservoir until a couple of years ago. My friend Mike introduced me to Gladhouse. Okay, I think now I might put some, what'll I do? Maybe some really light green chalk here. It's actually probably more of a yellowy green, really. Yeah, more crayon yellow green, I think. So I'll just put that in there. And yeah, all right. And a couple of gaps. I could fill a few gaps. I could make the edge of things read a bit more clearly here and there. So I'm looking for the leaves that are dark and finding the light edge between them. There's that stem there. Probably this lily could have a little bit of that greyness too. Oh, it's the chalk I picked up. The chalk doesn't flow as smoothly on the surface of this paper as the oil pastel does for me. I can push hard with the oil pastel and it just makes the shape I want, makes the mark I want. Okay. It's the grey oil pastel and I'm taking a bit of a risk here. Putting that in. And then softening it with the white. Okay. And then there's my box of inks over here. And I have actually got a green. I have got, that's the Daler-Rowney inks. I have a green ink that might work. Just here and there, it might be quite a nice thing to introduce. Maybe. I don't know if it's really lily colour. There's a couple of greens. Might even be that ultramarine blue is a better one to use there. Let's just see what this one looks like. That's fluorescent green. It's kind of nice though. Maybe for this bit. You wouldn't want to let the dripper run because it's so runny. It'll just fly everywhere. Okay. Oh, I do actually have white ink as well. Might be nice to experiment with. I think I want to bring back a little bit more white into this, into that edge. Whoa, making a mess there now again. Hopefully the ink will play ball and run along the lines that are already there, and not get stuck in the Indian ink too much. So that's that. I'm going to wipe that white drip because I don't really want it going right down the centre there, over that nicely bending flower. Final one is the ultramarine blue ink. It's kind of fun to pick up different materials and just see what would happen if I introduce this kind of thing. Yeah. So just that. I'm forgetting that going up is better. Moving up gets a smoother shape. So this is the last leaf I'm going to do now. I'm going to stop then. It's been quite a bit longer than I planned this video. I think the longer videos might be a bit boring, but sure, if I get, you can always fast forward it anyway. Alright. Just kind of move that so that it gets the direction of the leaf. Okay, so that's it, I reckon. I'm going to just stop there. Bring you a bit closer to see it. You see it there? So they're the... Gosh, it's very hard for me to focus this. There. And that's the lilies on the right hand side and at the top that I was doing. And I'll be back. That's my thumb covering the camera. That's what my dad did on Zoom last week. He had his thumb covering the camera, I think. I think it might have been deliberate. Anyway, lovely tuning in with you again today. Thanks very much for watching. And have a look at the links below if you want to know more about me. My name is Anya Devine. I'm a painter of all kind of things, really. I love painting everything. And here is the saintly Maisie, who has been in position on the floor for the last half hour. Isn't she wonderful? Isn't she wonderful? That was like against all odds this morning because she's not yet at her walk. Okay, bye bye.